Hi, we're Richard and Jackie and we're Early Retirement Wanderlust.
In this vlog, we're having a think about some of the early retirement routines that we would like to put into place now that we've been retired for over 10 months and all the renovations are finished.
When we made the decision to early retire, we knew that it was going to be quite difficult in terms of getting a daily routine because work provides that. And when you're in work, you don't really have much choice about the routine that you have. Whereas when you early retire, in theory, you've got an entirely free routine to choose.
And although we've loved our early retirement so far, it's been pretty full on. It's 10 months since we retired. It took us 14 weeks of being houseless before we even had a home to live in, so we were travelling, and then we've been living in a building site which has come with its own loveliness and its own challenges. But now that all of that's out of the way, we really want to establish proper routines.
And it is fair to say we're absolutely loving early retirement and we don't regret it one iota, but it is quite different to working life. One of the things that we wanted to get out of early retirement is that we wanted to make sure that we could look after things like our health, make sure that we enjoyed life and we enjoyed our travels, make sure that we learnt new things, and we used the time that we gained from being early retired to maintain all of those lovely relationships with the people that we care about. And up until this point, we've really struggled with that.
We have. We've not had a cooker or a fridge for big chunks of time, so the healthy eating went out of the window. We've not had a house that we can invite people to come and stay with us, although we've been pretty good at going and staying with people and keeping on their sofas.
And with any renovation, we've been spending money hand over fist. And a lot of that money has come from the equity release with us selling the family home and downsizing. But we just need to tie things back now that things are a little bit more normal. So
yeah, and I'm looking forward to actually having a proper routine of things that we do.
So what we're going to do now is we've had a little bit of a think about it and we want to keep ourselves accountable by sharing those ideas with you and see how it goes over the course of the next month or so. Because routines are just habits and habits take a while to bed in. And there are certain things that we definitely need to look to improve.
And I know when we review this that Richard is going to be so much better at keeping to these routines than I am. Now the renovations are finished, one of the biggest things we definitely need to rein in is budgeting. We always used to, when we were working, have quite a strict budgeting regime where we would take a certain amount of cash out and we would divvy it up into pots, and it worked really well for us. So that's it, we're going to start it again.
We've worked out when we early retired exactly how much money we've got to live on week by week once the bills have been paid for the house and things like that. Budget discussions are quite a personal thing, and we know that some people in their early retirement have a budget way bigger than ours, and we also know that some people in early retirement will have a budget way less than ours. It is an entirely personal thing. We've done our calculations, and what we're trying to work on once we've paid all of our bills is we're trying to live per week on £120. And within that, we're looking to cover all of our food, drink, and fuel costs.
I mean, we have got a little bit of leeway if we needed to be bailed out, but we are going to try and stick to it because that's part of the routine. So we're going to take £120 in cash out we haven't actually even decided a day. What day are we going to take the cash out, Rich?
I remember this from when we were bringing the kids up. And do you take it out at the start of the weekend and blow it over the weekend and then have to survive the week? Or do you take it out at the end of the weekend and make sure you've got enough money and then you spend your money at the weekend?
I'm just going to point out to you at this point, we don't have weekends because we're early retired. Every day is a weekend. So we'll take the money out on a Monday.
And then once we've got that £120, we've got to make that last. And it's worked really successfully for us in the past, and that simple accountability measure of not having any more money left in the week does stop you from spending.
It does, yeah, because you've physically got to have the cash to do it.
Our biggest weekly expense is going to be our food shop, and we run quite a tight routine on that.
Yeah, we've always just made a list of 7 meals that we would like to have over the week and write a list of what we need to buy for that week. We're actually going to try going into the local town, settle, and use the fruit and veg shop, the butchers, and actually they have a booths, and booths we've discovered have a really good meal deal on meats. So they do 3 packs of meats for £12, and some of those we've realised you can actually stretch out to make 5 different meals. So happy days.
We really enjoy our cooking, and it's part of our entertainment as well. So on an evening, it's really nice to cook fresh. Pretty much we have standard breakfasts, standard lunches, so we know week in, week out how much we've got to spend on things like that. So that's going to be one of the things we look to tighten up on.
Yeah, and we will share with you in one of our next videos actually one of our weekly shopping budgets, and show you some of the meals that we've made and some of the lunches and breakfasts that we do, so you can actually see how we divvy that budget out. In our working lives, we were always really active. We were both members of our local CrossFit gym, and we loved the CrossFit atmosphere. We loved training. You trained 4 times a week. I used to go at least 2 or 3 times a week, and that was definitely part of our routine. For quite a few years, I have been quite obsessive about doing the Everest Challenge. For anyone that doesn't know that, there is, through the Trail magazine, they do a hiking challenge that you could see how many different numbers of Everests you could climb in a year. It started out that we wanted to climb the equivalent of 1 Mount Everest, which is about 8,800 metres. We smashed that within a few months. So actually, we've always done about 3 Everests a year, which is pretty active. We do a lot of hiking. We get into the lakes quite a lot, into the Alps. So yeah, that we can keep up. We're in the Dales.
Jackie loves her Garmin
I do.
and tracks everything within an inch of its life, including daily steps. And that's just a really easy way of making sure that we stay active. I'm a little bit more nerdy and old school. We're trying to do the Wainwright Challenge, which is covering all the Wainwright peaks in the Lake District. We haven't been up there this year.
No, we've moved to the Dales thinking, yeah, we've got great access to the Dales, which has got some amazing climbs and walks, but we're only 40 minutes to the lakes, and we've not been since December.
So we know we need to get out to the lakes and we need to keep bagging those Wainwrights. We haven't got a local gym around us, but we've probably got the best gym that you could potentially have, which is the Great Outdoors. I've never been a great runner. I've never really liked running. I'm not particularly a great fan of road running or running on pavements, but the fact that we've got all of these footpaths around us and these fields with the added distraction of lambs running around and walls to climb over, we're just trying to build the habit, and we're not going at it hammer and tongs in terms of our running, but we're just going to try and build the habit of getting out there and doing a bit of a run.
I'm actually only doing no more than 2 kilometres, because anywhere from our house is like that. It's uphill.
So getting out and building the habit and just doing 15, 20 minutes every second day or so, that's one of the things that we're trying to build up.
The other thing that excited us about moving to the Dales is we do like cycling. It is fair to say we're fair weather cyclists. We haven't been out yet over the winter at all because we have been quite busy, but we really want to start getting out on our bikes as well. And again, we've just got the most amazing cycle network around here.
It's really challenging. It's very, very different to pan flat Cheshire, because as Jackie said on the runs, wherever you go, it seems that it goes uphill. But we are looking forward to taking a slower pace with our cycling and getting out and exploring and finding those hidden places, but actually on our bikes as opposed to in the van.
Yeah, what I've done is a bit of research over the last few months. I found all the tea shops in the Yorkshire Dales so that when we go cycling, we can plan our routes so that we go by all the different tea shops. But yeah, we are really excited to just make that part of our routine, get out on the bikes once or twice a week.
We know it's really important as part of early retirement and as we get older to work on our activity levels, and the last thing we want to do is just stagnate. So we want to use all of that time we've freed up from not working and actually just making sure that we're active and having fun.
I think for 52-year-olds and 51-year-olds, some of us are older than others, I think we're actually pretty active already. You know, we do get out a lot hiking, but yeah, it's just a routine of what we probably perceive as proper exercise. Before we ventured into YouTube, we set up a website, a weekly blog that we do. You started doing it because you wanted to document our journey, didn't you?
Yeah, and I like creative writing, and it gave me a structure to what we were doing each week. So yeah, I just produced some words, and I found it quite therapeutic to do that.
So once I'd let Richard work out how to build a website, how to actually get the blog up and running, Richard is now probably more doing some of the YouTube movie editing, and I really enjoy doing the blog. I now write our weekly blog, and it's a really good way of thinking about what we've done, reflecting on what we've achieved, reflecting on what we want to do, and yeah, the blog's become my little baby now, and I'm really enjoying it.
But it is a challenge to keep it going,
Yeah.
and keeping that routine of producing 1 or 2 blogs a week is not an easy one, and it's something that we know that we occasionally miss on.
I like typing the words. It's usually trying to find the pictures and all the other editing bits that you have to do in the background that frustrate me, and then I'm like, oh, I can't do it this week.
So we are committing to try and putting out
2 blogs a week.
When we started this channel, it was probably the most challenging thing we've ever done. If you look back at some of our previous videos, and if you're watching this now, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do, to put yourself out there.
No, we're both teachers, so we're quite used to talking to an audience of 30 10-year-olds or 12-year-olds, but it's quite different putting ourselves in front of a camera. But the main reason we actually started doing YouTube is we were quite worried when we retired that we didn't want to stagnate and be bored. We wanted to keep being lifelong learners. So you've spent hours trying to work out how things in YouTube work and how to do the video editing.
It's just really complicated, but we're enjoying every step of the way. Probably not necessarily enjoying being in front of the camera, but the learning process is really exciting, and to learn something new is just an opportunity every day. But again, a bit like the blog, it's really difficult to keep on top of things. We are desperately trying to get out 2 videos a week, and at times it's really difficult and life gets in the way, and we are reminding ourselves why we're doing it.
Yeah.
Because...
And we said we're retired and we're not going to be stuck to any deadlines, so if we don't get a video out, it's not actually a major disaster. Part of being lifelong learners, both of us being teachers, we always used to say to the children, we might be old in your eyes to the children, but we still like to learn new things. We still like to challenge ourselves, and this has been a big challenge, but it's been an amazing challenge.
Part of our working routine was pretty much work hard throughout the week and then escape in the van at the weekends. And having not got that work routine, we found it really strange that our van routine has completely changed.
I don't think that's not having a work routine. I think that's mainly having builders 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and then when they're not here, we've had to be painting and getting everything ready for the next tradesperson to come in. But yeah, we have found escaping in the van. We hadn't been away since January until last weekend.
And it's our little happy place. And one of the reasons why we retired was to make sure that we have more time to travel, to find the hidden places, to adventure. And that has been a struggle while we've been doing all the renovations. But now all of that's done, we know that we need to work really, really hard to rebuild that habit.
I don't think we need to work hard. I think we're ready to go. Yeah, we're really excited. We've got everything done in the house that we need to do. So our life is our own. If it's sunny and we see a really good weather forecast, we're off. But that needs to work into our routine as well. We're so excited. This weekend, we've actually got our son and his girlfriend coming up to stay with us for the weekend, and we can barbecue and entertain them in a house that's got heating. And last time he came, we didn't have a bathroom. So he's going to be really super excited. And it's amazing that we can actually start having people to stay. So we keep telling all our family and friends that our little B&B is now open for them to come and visit us, and we've had quite a few acceptances on our offers of that. So yeah, we're excited. We're staying around all summer so that we can have all these guests staying.
We know that when you're in work, you've got that privilege of seeing people every day and seeing your work colleagues and your friends every day. And when you retire, you don't have that opportunity. So we've just got to work super hard to make sure that we keep in touch with those people that we love and we respect and we want to spend time with, and find ways of spending time with them.
I don't think that's going to be hard now we've actually got the time. Something that I've found quite challenging, probably since COVID times, is that my mind's been really, really active. And one of the things I really want to do is start getting back into reading. I've just not been able to do that. And I used to love reading. So I am another routine that I would like to set myself and that I would like to try and make sure that I do is start reading again and just find that love of literature. So those are some of the things that we really want to concentrate over the next few weeks. Don't know how we'll get on. Hopefully we'll be able to stick to the budgeting one pretty well, the exercise one pretty well, although I'm quite a fair weather training person.
So we just try and hold ourselves account by putting it out there and letting you know what we're planning on doing over the course of the next month. What we're planning on doing is, in a month's time, reviewing and seeing how it's gone, because that's all part of the learning process and the way of keeping us accountable.
Yeah, and in my new role as chief blog writer, I will maybe try and put a little bit on how we're doing on each of the challenges each week.
And if you've got any thoughts on what you would like to improve, or any thoughts on the things that we're looking to improve over the course of the next month, let us know in the comments below. But that's it from us.
It is.
See you later.
Bye.